Have you ever had any issues with your wrist when you're gaming? Felt it was a little off, a little creaky, maybe it hurt, maybe it was a little tired. These are things that we all need to consider, especially as we age. When we're gaming, we want to make sure we have the most comfortable experience. Working from home, I spent a lot of time on my desk, and that has given me a better understanding of the ins and outs of making sure that we are taking care of our body and ensuring that in the end we are comfortable and are not going towards an injury in the long run. This is where Deltahub's Carpio G2.0 comes in. This is an ergonomic wrist rest designed for gamers so that we have the most comfortable experience playing games like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online or Atomic Heart, whatever it may be. So let's get straight to the point. This is an amazing purchase in my opinion. It has honestly relieved a lot of the pressure I felt on my wrist that I did not realize I was feeling. Once you actually start using it, you do realize or see the benefit of it immediately. It does take a while or a bit of an adjustment period because there is gonna be something underneath your wrist for a little while that you're not really used to. But overall, once you're using it, you do start to see the benefits. And it is something where I will say that it's not something that might make you improve your gameplay experience where you're all of a sudden the best esports player out there, but it will make that whole experience a lot more comfortable. I really enjoyed playing games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with this, but what I enjoyed or where I enjoyed this the most were games like Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft. Areas or games where you need to just kind of be holding onto the mouse and doing a couple of tedious tasks here and there, but games that require you to just be holding onto that mouse, be it clicking or moving or whatever it may be. This is where this really kicks in. The price for this wrist rest is between $40 and $50, so it is kind of on the high end. But for what it is definitely an awesome buy. It is something that you will start seeing the benefits of immediately. And the key thing is, it is something that will ensure that you're not leading yourself to an injury in the future. So when I got the Deltahub's Carpio G2.0 come in, I opened it up and the unboxing experience was quite awesome actually. I really like the way they had kind of designed the product and this kind of thing that they have on top. I don't know what it's called, where it kind of changes when you kind of look at it in a different way. But either way, when you open it up, it's like a little tab that you pull, and on the other side, one side of the tab, a little manual of sorts pops up that gives you information on how to be able to use the product and where you can go to get more information on it. And on the other end, of course, you have the actual Carpio G2.0. Also give you a really awesome carrying case if you ever need to kind of take this to work, anything like that. This can definitely be used for working computers as well. It's not something you need to only use for gaming. So I kind of like that they gave you this little nice carrying case with it. So one of the really cool things about this is that once you have figured out how tight you want this, you found that perfect comfort level for your hand. And after you're done, you might be thinking that, hey, how am I going to get my hand back in? Do I need to squeeze myself every time? The cool thing is this is all magnetic. So this is detachable right here. So this kind of pops off and you're going to put your hand back in exactly where you would want it. You can even tighten it more if you want, but you can just kind of bring it back down and there you go. It sticks on really well. I'm doing my best to take this off. I'm going to keep doing this for a little while, but yep, you can see that it does not come off. So it's done a really good job. You obviously want it right around here, right on your palm. It's going to give you that comfort level for your hand. And yeah, this is really great. So to test this out, I played a bunch of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Team Deathmatch, or just any kind of online experience on that game. I wanted to play something that was competitive, but also a game that I enjoy myself, so that it would actually be kind of me comparing how I normally feel when I play that game, as opposed to now when I have the Carpio G2.0 attached to me. The first game was definitely an adjustment period. It took me a second to kind of get a handle of this thing being underneath me. It is not something that you just kind of get used to immediately because it is, again, something that's kind of attached to you now. But over time, I started getting a hang of it and I kind of started to appreciate it being there because it does relieve that pressure underneath your wrist. The second game, I was doing a lot better. I felt a lot more comfortable. And the key thing this was doing for me was keeping my hand stable. I never realized that, but this was just kind of keeping my hand in place. So when you are aiming down the sights in a specific area or like a doorway, you are able to kind of keep it there without moving and without feeling the pressure of your hand in any way. Something that I kind of faced before. I don't know if anyone else goes through that as well, but it is something to keep in mind if that happens to you as well. Surprisingly, I even topped the leaderboard for my team, even though we lost the game. but it is quite impactful. I'm not gonna say that this will make you a better player overall, but it is something that will help you and alleviate a lot of pressure on your wrist, something that you might not see right now, but when you do use this, you will start to notice that. The key place where I saw this most effective was games like Elder Scrolls Online or like World of Warcraft. Areas where you are holding onto the mouse and doing your missions or your quests, and it gets a little tedious. As much as you might like to explore an area when you do a quest and you go back miles to the same spot that you were at 5 minutes ago, it gets a little frustrating. At the same time, it is kind of part of the whole MMO gameplay. But that's kind of where I saw this most effective, because it was just me kind of holding onto the mouse, pressing a button, or holding onto to kind of be able to move. It just alleviates a lot of pressure in those types of games. In terms of comfort, it does take a while to get used to, but once you've kind of settled in, it is honestly extremely comfortable. The band that's kind of surrounding your wrist is really soft and really comfortable. At the same time, at the bottom, you can kind of see that it has a bunch of holes to kind of make sure that it's aired out, so you feel cool. It's not kind of making you sweaty or warm up. The point where you actually put your wrist on is also kind of spongy. It gets a nice feel when you put your hand on it. Overall, a really comfortable product. In terms of any concerns or issues that I might have with this, overall, I have not really seen any issues. The thing that I do worry about is the magnetic or the magnet part of this Carpio G2.0. I'm not sure if this will be as effective or as tight as it is now, and maybe a little bit later. I don't know if it will kind of lose its power or lose its grip over time, but that's something that I will kind of be testing over time as well. And the last thing of concern might be the mouse pad or the desk pad that you might have, and how this might glide on it. On my desk pad, it was fine, but I can definitely see this possibly hitching, although it does have this really nice gliding kind of material on the bottom. I'm not sure how effective it will be on every kind of surface. So overall, this is an awesome product for $40 to $50, something that kind of relieves the stress and pain and possibly prevents you from injuring yourself in the future. I think this is definitely worth buying. It has honestly made me understand and appreciate parts of my body that I did not realize were in so much strain. It has also made my gaming experience so much more enjoyable. Now I can actually imagine myself playing games like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online for long periods of time without worrying about something happening to my wrist or feeling tired or this or that. And even when it comes to competitive games, I'm not a big competitive player, but I myself was seeing a lot of improvements just because of the comfort level having increased and me being able to kind of stabilize my hand a lot more. It is something that kind of does add up over time, even if you don't see it right now. So thank you again for joining. It really means a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. You all know what to do. I'll see you next time. Bye.